welcome to the Ultimate Balance book study. I'm Laura Hopkins with 7 Oily Days. I'm joined by my friend Adelina Fast and many others who are watching live from all over the country. And tonight we're going to be deep diving into the kidney. And we're starting with the kidney. Why? Because, well, that is the system of the body right now that needs a lot of attention in the wintertime. And the other system that we work on in the winter is the bladder. But we're going to start with the kidney because the kidney is the filter that moves things through the bladder. So let's get into it and talk a little bit more about the kidney. The book I'm using tonight is The Ultimate Balance. This is by the chiropractor LeAnne Deardeuff, and she's done a fantastic job of putting together this book. If you have not watched the intro to this series already, please go back and do that. It's the first one in the videos. And you're going to want to join with us if you have this book, you're going to join with us by going to page 26. So open your books to page 26, and we're going to talk a little bit about the kidney. Not a little, we're going to talk a lot about the kidney. And I've got some other stuff to talk about the kidney too. So the kidney, it's really the kidney, the liver, some of these organs that are some of the hardest working that really don't get a lot of credit. They do so much work. But the kidneys are situated, if you wanted to feel, you can't feel them, but the closest place to get oils, a lot of times if I'm working on kidney things, it's behind you on your back, just at the base of your rib cage. That's where your kidneys are located. And some people are familiar with where your adrenal glands are. We have done that a lot in the past. We like to put nutmeg on our backs right in that place because the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys. The kidneys are about 4 to 5 inches below the bottom rib. So right in there, you can see the chart here, and you can see where they line up on the body. There's one on each side, about 2 or 3 inches to the left and the right of the spine, and they're behind the liver on the right and on the spleen on the left. So you located it. Does everyone know what we're talking about? Mm-hmm. Good deal. The kidneys filter blood and urine impurities out of the bladder. They sense blood concentrations of sugars, salts, oxygen, hydrogen, minerals, proteins, and certain hormones. They maintain these in proper homeostasis, which is the point of what we're doing this year, the point of this book club, and that homeostasis meaning balance. They excrete excess. So this is the time of year when maybe some people have had a little excess of different things, a little excess of flour, white flour, a little excess of sugar, maybe alcohol if you so imbibe. But many people throughout the kidney's job is to excrete excess constantly. The kidneys, excuse me, other function of the kidney include pH balance. We all know how important it is for our bodies to be balanced, more alkaline. Because of our diets, a lot of our bodies are more acidic, but you don't want to be too alkaline either. You want to be right in the middle and have that, again, balance. You can see this showing up in inflammation in your body. Anything with an itis, that means inflammation. So arthritis, any kind of chronic issue, when you see more chronic things like lupus, things that people are told that it is the body's fighting against itself, that is an itis. In general, it's because of inflammation. So what we want to do is help the kidney out by making sure that we are drinking lots of water. One other thing that is great for the liver and the kidney and the liver is drinking warm water with lemon juice or sometimes with lime juice in it. If you're specifically having chronic issues with those with those specific areas, because your body is, again, these are filters that are working really hard. The kidneys are working really hard. So it's helping them to be more alkaline, gives them a little bit of a break. Blood volume control and regulation of blood pressure are other things that the kidneys do. Normally, about 1/5 of total blood flow at any time is passing through your kidneys. That's an important job. How are we supporting those kidneys in their job to do those things? Kidney stones, if anyone's had a kidney stone, they are formed in a variety of ways. A lot of times carbonated drinks, soft drinks, can leach potassium, phosphorus, and calcium from the blood, which can form stones. So getting any kind of carbonated, consistently carbonated drinks, pops, soda pop, whatever you call it, where you come from, drinking those things over and over long periods of time can form kidney stones. Indigestible mineral supplements such as calcium carbonate or trace minerals that haven't been pre-digested by plants can also form kidney stones. Being able to have, and then I mentioned earlier, parasites, or I mentioned in our intro class, parasites can also cause kidney stones. What we want to do for parasites is hit them hard when we know that we don't want to be a host for those things. So we specifically can cleanse those throughout the course of a month whenever you start on a full moon. I like to personally start in the middle, the opposite of a full moon, and work my body up, because otherwise, from a detoxification standpoint, you can that's when the parasites are most active, but I want to go in and kill them when they're a little bit more subdued. I want to start eliminating them, because if they're most active and you just try to wipe them out, the detoxification can be a lot more aggressive. So if you start opposite of the full moon, so we just had a full moon this first weekend of January. If you go the opposite of that, so towards the end of the month, or 2 weeks from now, that's when parasites are going to be at their lowest point. So you can start something like Parafree. It's a capsule from Young Living, or Paragize to place over the specific organs of your body if you know where you're having issues. That's a good place to start with parasites as well. And then, of course, water, 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 water. Clean, fresh water. And you're going, I don't like to drink water. Well, your body, you need to get yourself into the habit of drinking water, but you can do things like Young Living has vitality drops that are fantastic, that have a little bit of flavor, that are sweetened with stevia. And so it's not going to be a blood sugar issue. And so you can take those. They also have electrolytes, so it's going to be very hydrating. And you can drink that over time to help your body. But getting into the habit of drinking clean, fresh water is going to be fantastic in general. That could bring balance. If you don't drink water, just hydrating yourself can be a fantastic, and you could see big results just from hydration. So how do we know we're drinking enough water? You take whatever you weigh and you divide it by 2. That number, what you get when you do that math equation, is the number of ounces you need to drink a day minimum for maintenance of hydration. Some of you are kind of doing the math and going, ooh, I am not where I need to be. So that's a good goal in the process of this Ultimate Balance book, is to get that going. All right, we're going to move over to the page 27, and we're going to go into some more details here. I want to quickly touch on the following conditions that may indicate a need to support the kidneys. Pain in the mid-back region, where we put our hands earlier, where you can see where the kidneys are. Dark circles under the eyes or puffy eyes, so that can indicate there's not enough lymphatic drainage going on. History of kidney stones, and that could be a family history as well, if you're prone to that, because we understand that genetically things can get passed down, but we also understand epigenetics, that when we take charge and take intention of our health, that we can those curses that try to pass down from generation can be stopped and reversed. Cloudy, bloody, or darkened urine, or urine that has a strong odor. Those are all indications that your kidneys could need some help. It also could indicate that, for those of you doing the balance and burn that have gotten that early from Young Living, some people are reporting that they're having smelly urine, and that's because it's detoxifying. It's pulling things out. Recurrent bladder or kidney infections that can be very painful and annoying, especially if you have used traditional methods to antibiotics to get rid of those things, and we want to get to the root cause of them. Skin eruptions, psoriasis, or eczema. So any kind of, again, when we see things coming out on the skin, it's because of an inner challenge. So usually colon, and here we're talking about the kidney needs extra love to be able to flush, and blood pressure irregularities or edema, which is swelling. And all of these things can be addressed physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So let's talk a little bit about that. What does that look like? So the meridian, the kidney meridian, is the opposite organ is the large intestine. So for those of you who it says the time of day to work on this is 5 to 7 p.m. So if you are wanting to work on your kidney, putting on the oils down here below, speaking the affirmations that are down below, taking your K and B tincture, that is K and B meaning kidney and bladder. Fantastic, fantastic. For those of you who have a tendency to get kidney or bladder infections, I had not had one of those until I had an international mission trip experience, and I took a bottle. I had got a bottle of K and B and took it with me, and I would just put it under my tongue, and I had no more problems. I can tell you that it's very strong, but why under my tongue? It's because it's the quickest place to get it absorbed into my bloodstream and fast acting. Because I don't care what something tastes like or if it's hot or whatever. I want it to get to work fast. So I will put it under my tongue for as long as I can handle it. And then I usually will chase it with Ningxia Red or chase it with some water with essential oils in it. So when you're working, that's the specific time of day during the winter. That's a specific time of day that you want to work it. And then you can also do the reflex points, the VitaFlex points. If you look on your feet, kind of that right in the arch of your foot, those points, you can do your VitaFlex points, which is the pad, tip, and nail. And you can just put the oils like valor, into the future, surrender, release, inner child, forgiveness, hope, humility, or oils like juniper, sage, and geranium on those VitaFlex points. And the other point will also be you have points on your neurovascular points on your head. So if you look in that top right corner, you're going to see the points are going to be on so it is your left temple and kind of right up in here. So you would apply your oils and do it right here. And then also in the very occipital ridge, that occipital ridge is the very back. See if I can show you guys. We're at occipital ridge. So it's really at the top of your spinal cord, right below where your the cranium. So there you go. That would be another place where you can put it. The other thing is the meridian organ reflex points right on your back. As you can see, those are listed right in that middle chart. And then you can follow along. The kidney meridian, it begins in the ball of the foot, travels up the inside of the leg, across the stomach, just to the right of the navel, and up to a point just below the middle of the collarbone. So you can trace the oils going from that point in your foot. It's going to be your right foot, moving all the way up to right below that collarbone, and that's on the right side. All of those different points, you can put the essential oils on, but you also want to make sure that you're aware and setting your intention that the negative emotions associated with the kidney are fear of the future, disappointment, criticism, failure, shame, do or die, stuck, and revenge. So if any of those resonate of like, oh, that's something that I need to deal with, then we don't focus so much on the negative of what it is, then we look at the positive emotion. I am moving forward, faith, love, safety, rave, approval, success, and your affirmation. So here's what you can do, or you can create your own. Here's a starting point for you. You can say, I enjoy new things. That's a good one. I learn new things. I look forward to the next adventure. I am satisfied with life. I love myself and feel proud of myself for my accomplishments. I choose life.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all places you can start to start supporting the kidney. I will tell you that some of the specific, if you were to look in, I want to read to you really quick. I had it set here and I'm going to find it again. The juniper is mentioned for both the kidney and the bladder. I want to talk to you just a little about juniper and why it is so important. Um, Juniper is it's in the cypress family. We understand cypress to be a tree that grows on every continent. But juniper, the botanical family, it's connected. It's a tree, and the historical data tells us that bundles of juniper berries were hung over doorways to ward off witches during medieval times. It's been used for centuries as a diuretic, and until recently, French hospital wards burned sprigs of juniper and rosemary to protect from infection. The medical properties that are here, it's fantastic as an antiseptic, digestive, cleanser, stimulant, purifying, detoxifying, increases circulation through the kidneys, and promotes excretion of toxins. It promotes nerve regeneration. So what if you don't have juniper? Number one, put it on your essential rewards. Have that coming up for this next year. But what can you find it in? Let's see where juniper is in. So I'm going to go to the back of my book. I'm going to open it up to see what else it's in. So listen to this. It's in these blends: Awaken,
Mm-hmm.
Digest,
Mm-hmm.
Dream Catcher, Energy, Grounding, Hope, Into the Future, Three Wise Men, Sunlight Magic, Orthoes, and K&B Tincture.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very powerful oil. I wanted to share that one as just a highlight because it packs a punch. But if you want to really work on your kidneys and your liver, that juniper is the juniper would be a star when it comes to those specifically. I'm also going to read from Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils because I feel like we have opportunities sometimes where it is um, we hear these words and maybe that doesn't resonate. Um, I want to read these others and the oils that are associated specifically with those emotions. So having a feeling suppressed, that is an oil that you can work with. Juniper works with that one as well. Fear of love, fear to love, or fear to be loved, or fear of not being lovable, or fear of loving someone. That oil would be Three Wise Men. Feeling powerless, you can use Chivalry or Highest Potential. And then just overall, maybe you can't quite put your finger on it, feeling just a bad feeling. Like I have people might call it a premonition, or I have this bad feeling, something bad's going to happen. I have this feeling. Gathering oil, using
Mm-hmm.
gathering. Okay. So I wanted to share those. Um, There's a, when it comes to body traits, I want to read this also from this book. The kidney's dominant traits are physical and emotional. And so whenever we look at that, I'm going to go back and read what physical and emotional means. Physical, when we're talking about the quadrants of releasing emotional patterns. So physical emotional means that emotions and physically expressing feelings are their reality. So family and social relationships are the highest priority when it comes to the kidney traits. So kidneys are happiest when they can be flexible, when they have choices and can explore new options. Once they have accomplished something and moved beyond their perceived limitations, they relax and enjoy those around them until the next challenge arises. They feel fulfilled, and the challenges need to be different and involve people, allowing for greater flexibility and growth. Okay. All right. Well, tonight has been very fun. This was the overview of kidneys. I hope that if you're watching this in the future, you have questions, you can email 7oilydays@gmail.com and we can help you. But right now, I'm going to go back through the chat, and it looks like there have been some comments and questions. Feel free to put these in there, guys, and let us know what you're needing. Yeah. Okay. Serlina said each kidney has its own individual job. They are not a redundant organ. Nope. Absolutely. What if someone doesn't have a kidney? I believe, I know someone who's done, who gave his mom a kidney. Does that mean that that you can't have balance, that you can't, if something has happened or or an organ has been removed or injured? I believe the vibration is the frequency of that organ, can still be healed, that you can still work because it's electromagnetic. It is not a physical, it is a vibrational, frequency, because we are a spirit that has a soul and lives in a body. So there is still you can still do these things even if someone doesn't have that, specific organ. You can still work on these, do these, affirmations, do the VitaFlex onto these points on the body, 100%. Joanna made a good comment, that this month of January, free gift at 100 PV with Young Living is Vitality Citrus Fresh. Oh, fantastic. Put it in your water. Put it in your water all day long and twice on Sunday. And Joanna's got us Southern girls whipped into shape and to drink our water warm or room temperature. So I do that now. I fill up my water in the night before. And I'm not saying I don't ever have ice. I'm just saying in the morning, especially, I drink it warm. Tracy said, okay, learned RO water. Okay, I don't know what RO water is. I'm sorry. I just recently learned RO water takes out minerals, plus it makes you dehydrated because it's pulling minerals out of your bones. Just found all this out last week. My son said he is really tired. They installed a full house system. Oh, okay. Okay. So they have a water system. Yes. Look at this.
Reverse osmosis.
Osmosis. There you go. I thought she would comment. Reverse osmosis. There you go. Yeah. So it makes you dehydrated. So if you have reverse osmosis, the other thing that I really recommend everyone do just for overall balance, and that's mineral essence. We had a virus try to come through our house last week, and my body was fighting, and I didn't have the same symptoms as everybody else, but I kept feeling it in my head and my body. I'm like, I'm not hydrated enough. So taking mineral essence under my tongue, um, that was my saving grace. My head was able to feel reattached to my body. Minerals are so important, so very important. Um, Juniper is harvested in Utah. It's very special. It's harvested at our farm in Utah, and it smells fantastic. But you can be there when they're harvesting it, and they harvest a lot of times. If you go in the summer for convention, you'll be able to. A lot of times they are distilling juniper. Okay. Okay, and what's the name of the book you last read from regarding kidneys? This is the blue book, The Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. So it was talking about body traits, the dominant traits that this is Carolyn Mine, and specifically clearing emotional patterns, but the kidney traits of the body. So um, the core emotional issues are also listed: love, fear, and being misunderstood or misunderstanding others. So there you go. There's so much in to learn. But what I want you guys to do, we're gonna the next system we're gonna study, to be go in order, is going to be the bladder. So I want you to really focus on the kidney, even if you don't deal with, maybe have kidney issues or have had trouble with the kidney. I want you to take time to write down specific oils. Go right now when we get off this call and get your oils. Maybe it's juniper, sage, or geranium, or maybe a blend like Valor, Into the Future, Surrender, Release, Inner Child, Forgiveness, Hope, or Humility. Write down what oil you're going to use, and then the affirmations: I'm loved, I am lovable, I am loving. That would be a good starting point. um I love this body that God has given me, and I want to honor it and care for it as the temple of the Holy Spirit honor that I have. Whatever resonates with you, write those down. Use your oils, put them on those points. Jeannie Davis asks, how much mineral essence do you put in your tongue? I muscle test, and I say, how many drops or droppers? I don't ever go drops. And so 1, 2, usually 2 is the most I've done it a one time, just directly. But you can put it in a shot glass with Ningxia Red. You can, Charlotte Staritis would always say she'd put hers in a big container with water. And so she's drinking it over the course of the day. But I would put it under my tongue because I was needing relief for my head. Tracy also mentions lemongrass. Yeah. These are all excellent. All right, so Selena, I'm going to read it. She sent me a private message, but it says you don't have to read this. But juniper has always smelled like urine to me. I've always known it helps these organs, but on its own, wow, I have a hard time putting it on because I don't know if I smell like I wet myself because of what it smells like to me. And if it smells like that to me, on me, I love it. That's hilarious. Well, again, you can put them on your feet. If you can put it on the VitaFlex points on your feet. That's what's great about this, is you have different options for where you want to put it. We always say, if you don't like the smell of it, you may need that. And so what we say is put it on your feet where no one else can smell it as your body gets used to it, because it might be something that that over time, I know this has happened to me with several oils, that over time they change their smell, because as I chemically adjust and as I chemically balance, that it changes for me. So Yeah, Tracy said someone put it in a roller to roll on the bottom of my feet. So there you go. Isn't it great to come together and have conversations and we all share and we're sharing online and you guys are telling each other and probably having private communication, sending each other private messages with recommendations. There you go. This is why we do it in person, even though we're across all the different time zones. Well, it's getting late here in Central Time Zone, by the way. Adelina, did you have anything else that you wanted to share with us?
There is a Bible verse, Psalm 16:7, and it says, in some translations, it's going to say mind or rain, but it's my kidneys instruct me in the night season. And so that kind of makes sense. Even you mentioned in the previous video about dreams and the night times. So we need to just remember that, when you wake up, see first, is it a physical thing or is it a spiritual thing? And they're going to be connected, that's for sure. But just remember that, our kidneys instruct us. I know that kidneys, when in my own way, when people ask me for a solution when they're having kidney problems, all I can think of is acting like a disobedient child, throwing a tantrum, temper tantrum, having a fit based on what I've read in the emotion books,
Mhm.
and just it's like, you want your own way, you don't want to do it God's way, you want your way. So we're throwing fits, we don't want to. And so it's like, okay, kidney. But yeah, and I know when I had a kidney issue over 20 years ago, well, it was in 1997, 96, 97. I didn't have oils. I didn't know, understand. And I was off in Amarillo. My husband was in Kansas because we were traveling for the company he was working with, and he had to go do a seminar. And I had my boys were little. They were 5 and 2, and I thought I was going to die from these kidney stones. The doctors, I got to the hospital. They said, "Oh, it's a stomach virus going around." Blah blah blah. But I just was praying, and all I heard was drink 2 gallons of water. I did, and the stones passed, and everything was just fine. No infection, no nothing. But it's like, okay, uh, we got to do what we got to do. Hydration,
Mhm.
water is critical. Again, I guarantee, as much as we try, maybe only Joanna drinks as much water as they're supposed to, but I know that as much as I strive, I sometimes lack.
Mhm.
But yeah, so, and then someone else just posted. Oh, Selena posted something.
Yes, I will tell you, my brother-in-law dealt with kidney stones for years, and he would just drink lemon vitality in his water, and he was able to keep not have kidney stones. So just something small like that that's helping um, to pass those stones and to help keep them from forming. Again, it goes back to pH balance, keeping your body alkaline. Oh, do you want to read Selena's?
Yes, she said, had a kidney stone a few years back that woke me up in the middle of the night. I hear you. I felt led to use lemongrass and did it over and over most of the night, and it took my pain down from a 12 to about a 2. When I got up to look in my EODR essential oils desk reference, what did I find? Lemongrass recommended for that area. I just had to praise the Lord for that oil. Used it so much I stayed my palms yellow. Yeah. It smells so beautiful to me, like a lemon drop. And I tried it straight up, and I did not taste like a lemon drop.
No, it's aggressive. It's very
Yeah.
aggressive when taken internally, but yeah. So again, different ways, putting oils on topically, people taking the oils internally, the vitality oils internally, people breathing them, affecting the brain and the limbic system, affecting the respiratory system. So you can read a book and you can see the charts and do everything this way, but sometimes we have to just go by what we know and what we feel. We're listening to the voice of the Holy Spirit to say, this is what needs to happen. It's good to have our charts. It's good to have our water. It's good to have the things that we know we need every day and to be prepared. So you guys just don't get that when it comes to being balanced. Stopping and hearing the still small voice is another part of the balance that you can tune out, learn to tune out all the other things around you. This has been a really fun night. I am so glad that we got to do this. Next Monday, we'll be back with balance and burn testimonials from the new products that are coming out. That's going to be on Monday, it's next Monday, January the 12th. And then on the 19th, we're going to do Essential Oils 101. So another recap for people. And then the week after, I'm going to invite you all to gather people in your homes and to learn about raindrop technique. I'm working on a new raindrop video, so you'll be able to share that with people or invite, maybe you don't want to have a class of people yet as you're still learning, but invite one person over and do a raindrop with them. Teach yourself the raindrop, and that'll be on January the 26th. You guys have the opportunity to sit down and learn that, learn the raindrop, walk through it with the video. It's a technique that we just love. We use it for everything. And then on February the 2nd, we will be back with our Ultimate Balance Book Club, and we'll be talking about the bladder. So it has been a fantastic night. You guys have been so great. I love it when you're engaging and communicating. And we will see you next week for Balance and Burn. Good night, everybody.